Hello everybody. Welcome to this 4th of July of 2024. And I'm getting to make this video in the morning because I won't have time to do any of it later today. So I'm going to record it now and get it up there and then continue doing all the stuff. I just finished putting the brats on a slow cooker thingy. So what I do is I take bratwurst and I cook it in a tomato or V8 juice, and you cook it for like 2 hours on low, and they come out so nice. I also put like red and orange peppers in there, some onions, and some beef stock. So it really is gonna be awesome. This is for today's 4th of July party that we're gonna have with some relatives. So this is vlog number 17. Welcome to it. And today I'm going to do kind of a presentation or a training or a rant. So you can judge what it is, but it is about communicating effectively with your team, whether you're at work or people you communicate with over email or messenger or texts or whatever. So basically this is for communicating using non-verbal means of communication. So I've been working in web design and development for about over 20 something years, and I see this happening a lot in corporate companies, like companies that have lots of departments and stuff like that, lots going on. I have not noticed it in smaller companies where you're just dealing with the owner of the company, but it could be. This could work. This could be a problem in many different places. Even when you're communicating with your friends or relatives and you're trying to get something done, this applies. The problem is that people don't know how to communicate online. Like when you're having conversation with each other, you can clear up anything that's questionable or that you don't understand pretty easily by asking more questions, right? When it comes to dealing or doing that using email or messenger, even messenger is easier, but email is the worst. The problem is that it will take you several days of communicating to clear up something that you can do in like 5-minute conversation. And it is not because email is a horrible way to communicate, but it is because people that are communicating don't know how to communicate. So I actually wrote up this thing, and it's not finished, but I wrote it up a long time ago, and I was gonna do like a training on it or something, and I never got anywhere. But what I want to do is I want to read it to you and then talk about each of the points. So, communicating effectively with your team. Benefits of communicating effectively. Being able to articulate what you need effectively will not only get your results faster, but also preserve the overall team relationship and productivity. When your request is clear, it is easy for the recipient to reply to you with exactly what you need without struggling to assume what you need. All members of a team, especially people in the position of management, tend to do this often because of lack of time or possibly because of assumption that the recipient will know or should know what is requested. Assumption is quicker, but often is the problem in communication. To be a more effective communicator, don't assume. Instead, provide all the information that you're able for the recipient so the recipient is able to get your results. Sorry. Instead, provide all information that you're able for the recipient is able to get your results quick as possible without wasting time on trying to figure out what you need. That sentence is messed up, but you get the point. Have them focus their energy on getting you what you need instead of trying to assume or figure out what you are trying to request. So, a lot of times, and I've had this happen many, many times in my work, a client or a superior or just different department will send a request to you that'll be like a half sentence where they don't even specify exactly what they want. They will just say, well, here's an example. Email from Jane. Bob. I'm sorry. I did not spell correct this. This was just ideas on paper. So, email from Jane. Bob, where can I find the report for last month's sales? And also, I'm trying to put together an order for office supplies. What do you need me to order for you? So, this is a simple question that consists of two questions. Where can I find the report for last month's sales? And also, I'm trying to put together an office supplies order. What do you need me to order for you? So there's two questions to reply to, right? Reply from Bob. Reports drive. This literally happens a lot in my business. First of all, it's not a complete answer, but it is a quick answer. But it also does not answer the second question in the email. So, from years and years of dealing with this kind of replies, what I do is I send separate questions in separate emails. But then you tend to run into a problem that the person that is answering will answer the first email and ignore the second email completely. That literally happened to me too, many times. So, my solution to this problem is when you're dealing with somebody like this, you send one question first, then wait until they answer you, then send the second one. Or send one question, wait an hour, and then send the second one. So there's other emails between your two emails. That way, your two emails don't blend together and they think they answered your email. That's how you deal with people that do that. Communicating effectively. Initiating communication. Take a second to figure out what you want to communicate. So this is for people that are trying to request information. Take a second to figure out what you want to communicate. Articulate your request, including necessary information and details. So this is for when a custom or client or another department or your boss or whoever, when you are them, you are the boss, you're the different department, or you are the client, for you to best get what you need quickly, you need to compile or put together an email that requests what you need and also gives all the information that the person might need to give you that whatever you're requesting. So you need to first, and yes, it takes a little bit of time to put the request together that's efficient. Otherwise, you're gonna keep emailing back and forth for a week to get something done that can be done in a single email. Take a second to figure out what you want to communicate. Articulate your request, including necessary information and details. Use polite tone. Be respectful. That's another thing. People tend to be very short in emails, and if they're having a bad day, you can see it in emails. That the person that's receiving your email does not deserve to see your attitude because you're having a bad day. That person deserves to have a polite tone when you're requesting something and that you're being respectful. Don't intimidate, don't blame. That's another thing, is if for some reason something's frustrating and you can't find it, the most effective way for you to get what you need is to not intimidate and not to blame, even if it is their fault. If it is their fault, you know it's their fault, but your current objective is to get results, not to be found correct or right. You need to get results. So don't blame, okay? Write up what you need, give the details of why you're writing what you're writing, and where any kind of angles that you can possibly include in that are on your mind. You don't have to go researching. Whatever you know about the topic, put it in there. And use line separators. Okay, don't send them a block of text that's 50 lines long. From my experience, people that open an email that is just a block of text, they will mark it as unread and will not read it until the end of the day. Guarantee you. Make it easy to read, easy to reply. Include all the details you need. Make each paragraph separate. Include bullet points if you have to. Your job is to get, your objective is to get an answer or results from this email. So, do the best you can to empower the person to get you what you need. Give enough time to reply. Sometimes a person might be in the zone. I'm a lot, when I'm coding, I'm in the zone and I don't check my email until lunchtime or until the end of the day. Sometimes that happens. If you need something quicker, there's Messenger or a text that you can start with the word urgent or whatever if it isn't urgent. But otherwise, give some time to reply, especially if the work you're requesting requires some research. And follow up politely. If the person's not replying to you, whatever the acceptable time is, usually when I request something, I give them a day to reply to me. If they can reply to me within a day, great. If you're on the receiving end and you receive a request that you cannot get back to them, or you can't give them an answer until the next day, next week, or whatever, reply to the email and acknowledge that you received it and that it is on your to-do list. Don't just leave it hanging. It is the most frustrating to send some kind of an email or question or a request to somebody and it just goes into the ether, into space. No reply, nothing. And you don't hear from them for a week. That is very frustrating. So, when you receive an email and you can't get back to it quickly or within a reasonable amount of time, just reply and say, I got the email. I'm going to be working on it this week. I will reply back to you at a certain time. Replying. Read. So this is when you're replying to somebody's email. Read and understand the request or message. So, if it is a block of text, it's frustrating to read it, hard to understand, especially if their punctuations are not right. but you do the best you can. You set aside time so you can invest a few minutes to understand what the request is. Acknowledge the request. Like I said, if you are not able to get back to it quickly, acknowledge you received it and tell them you're working on it, or it's on your list, or whenever you're expecting to reply with the answer. Don't assume. Read the message. That's a big one too. You start reading the first line. This happens especially when there's a block of text. When there's separate paragraphs and punctuations and everything easy to read, it's a lot easier for the person receiving your email to not assume what you're trying to ask or skip sentences. So don't assume, read the message. Break up the message into individual requests and understand each one. So that's a big one on the receiving end. When somebody sends you an email, it's usually not one question. In my case, it's usually multiple questions in one email. So you need to break up the email and answer each one separately. What I like to do when there's multiple questions in the email, more than two, is I reply and I say, please see below for my answers. And then I go and in their email that you're replying to, I will, under each question, I will put a paragraph line and I will reply to that question below it and then go and reply to the next question below it. So when they receive answers, they have an answer for each of the questions in the email. Reply for clarification. If you are not sure what they're asking, if you can't make sense of it, reply for clarification. Don't ignore requests. Don't ignore details. So if you're a professional, there's no acceptable reason for you to ignore somebody and to not reply them. You have to. If you don't understand something, reply and ask for clarification. It's just unacceptable for you to just ignore somebody's email. They're trying to do their work, and they can't do their job without you replying to their questions, because they will go above you to your boss, and you will hear about it. Don't reply with an excuse. Provide a solution. So this is a big one. Some people, when they are trying to figure out how to say this, some people feel threatened or accused when the person emailing them is not asking the question in the correct way. Like I said, they blame or they intimidate. So on the replying end, people tend to reply with excuses or legitimate reasons. Okay, so your job as an employee or a contractor or whoever you are is to understand what they need. Read between the lines. Okay, they're emailing you because they need something from you, not because they have nothing to do and they just wanted to send you a message that makes you feel bad. Okay, that's not their intention. They're trying to get something done. So understand what they're trying to get done. If it's not clear, reply with a question. Okay, so never reply with an excuse without providing a solution. If there is an excuse or a reason for whatever is going on, you can explain the reason, but always provide a solution. Or always reply by saying, I will be looking into this, I will figure out what's going on and fix it. Even if you don't know how to fix it, make them understand that you're going to try to figure out how to fix it. Okay? Don't just say, I didn't know, or there's something wrong with the server, or there's something going on with my stapler, okay? Nobody cares about that. Nobody really cares why, They just want the results. So if you have to explain why, do, but provide results or solutions. Don't intimidate. Like I said, intimidation only ruins your relationship with your coworkers, and you have to work with them. You're going to have to interact with them and continue interacting. And worse yet, you're going to need to have results from them helping you with whatever you're doing. So your job is to maintain that relationship. In fact, grow that relationship so that it's so good that when you request something from them, they will put it at the top of the list rather than answering somebody else's requests. So that's how you succeed in whatever you're doing. Maintain and nourish those relationships with your coworkers so you can get stuff done quickly. Be extra polite and courteous. So that goes hand in hand with what I just said. By being extra polite and extra courteous, that's how you maintain your relationship. Okay? Say hi if it's the first time you're interacting with them today. Say, hi, Bob. Blah, 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 blah. And always say thank you at the end. My policy has been, ever since I became a contractor, for I think maybe 15 years when I've been seriously doing serious business, every single email ends with thank you. Even if it doesn't really go. It's just my thing. You can figure out if it makes sense to you or not. So saying please and thank you are super important in emails. They change the way that the person looks at your message. They shift their mind and the way that they're looking at a request, and they will be able to provide you better results if you're polite. That's it. I hope you learned something. Maybe I'll make this into a PDF and stick it up online and add a link in the description to it so you can download it and study it. Read it every day in the morning until it's ingrained in your head. My goal is for everybody to know how to communicate using email. Seriously, guys, it's been decades of email and we still haven't figured out how to use it right. Come on, apply yourself a little bit and do it for your own good. Do it for results. It will improve your production. Okay, I hope this was useful. Thank you for watching. Do you have questions? Do you have comments? Did I say some messed up stuff? Let me know. Like this video and subscribe if you haven't subscribed yet. I need to get more people subscribed so I can keep growing this. Oh, that's funny. There's a bird carrying some kind of a creature. Anyway, okay, thanks guys. Have a good one. Have an awesome 4th of July and safe 4th of July. See you tomorrow.